Hey guys, in this video, you're going to see Matt, an investor from Phoenix who invests in land deals, use Lazyboots for the first time. What I want you to listen for in this video is how Matt used to find his deals and how he uses Lazyboots now to save time and money in finding his deals. He starts with several small towns across the United States and he narrows it down to one, and then he even calls an agent on the call live to find his deal. And so watch it, guys. Enjoy it. Check it out. It's a bit long. Play it on a 2x speed. Play it a little faster. Enjoy and check it out. Drop a comment below. Any comments or questions, and try out Lazyboots, guys.
Okay, so this is Lazyboots land deals. Cool. So what I'm looking for is I'll tell you what I'm currently doing. I'm currently in El Paso, Texas. I am in Jasper, Texas. I am negotiating a deal in Elizabethtown, North Carolina.
What a name.
In Mojave County, Arizona, specifically Golden Valley. I've done deals in Apache County, in St. John's, Yucca, Tucson, and these are all like 0.25 acres all the way up to 80 acres.
Okay. Yeah, you've been all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I wanted to look at this software, because I do everything virtually. Like I literally was doing deals while I was traveling in an RV. I've done deals in Utah.
That's the life, man.
Utah, yeah, it's absolutely the life.
That's the life.
But things like Lazyboots helps me with that. So if I can make the process of finding a new market easier, because what I was doing before is I would run pay-per-click advertising to a state, and then if I would get a deal within that state and a deal would work, then I would go deep into that market. So my method of finding new markets was literally pay-per-click advertising to figure out a deal that works, right? Just totally like literally throwing darts at the wall, figure out what works. And then once a deal works and it's profitable, then I dive into that market. And that's literally how I would find these little micro markets that I would do deals in, like in Jasper.
Got it.
And Elizabethtown, North Carolina. Like I would have no clue to do deals in these places outside of I had pay-per-click advertising. However, with this, I'm hoping that I don't have to go through the pain of all of that to profitable markets.
Yeah, that's wild, man. I've never heard of that. Like pay-per-click ads, get a deal, and then dive in.
It worked. It's profitable.
Hey, and if it works, like that's what matters, right?
It just took too much time. I want to do
more
in less time.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, some of the features I recently pushed are to help you find growing markets, right? So neighborhoods and just cities in general. So I think this might help you, but let's find out.
Cool. Let's do it. So what do I need to search? What am I?
So yeah, let's start with, it sounds like you're all over the US, right? So let's start with the cities tab.
Well, I would say there are some limiting factors, right? I'm not going to Hawaii. I'm not doing Alaska.
Yeah.
I'm not doing, Nevada, California. I try to avoid swamp areas. So like most of the Southeast I'm out of. Besides, I would entertain some of the city areas or town areas of Florida.
Okay.
And then like the northern section of those states, right? Louisiana.
Okay.
Those southern states, but the northern part is where I would want to stay.
Okay, not too close to the water.
And no New Mexico.
No Okay, cool. So yeah, for now, let's go over to the cities tab, and we'll have to enter the cities manually. But from what you were just saying, it'd be cool if you could just say like, I'm looking for these areas and not these, and then it can just pull the cities in those areas, right? But for now, we'll have to kind of enter them manually.
All
So we
right.
can kind of target like the main cities, I guess, in some of the areas that you mentioned. Maybe the upper part of Florida, upper part of Louisiana. Sounds
I
like
would
you've been
really
in.
like to find more areas in Texas.
Okay. Yeah, let's just do
We
Texas
can
then.
stick to that if you want. Let's see. There's so many little towns there. That's the problem with Texas. It has the most counties. It's got like 200 and something counties in it. Um, where
So
was
you
I?
could actually, it's funny that you opened up the map. You can actually zoom in and look on the map on Lazyboots too.
Oh, really? See, habits, man.
Right?
Okay, so this is the area that I'm looking at now, or this is the area I do deals in now.
Okay. What's
Let me
that?
put
Lufkin?
no stop
The
right there.
top. Jasper.
So if there are deals, dude, if I could do deals in, how do I zoom out on this map? Right here. In like these areas, Beaumont, Lumberton,
Yeah.
Safety, Liberty. So do I
So
just
let's
add
try adding some of those in. Yeah, let's add in Beaumont, Netherland, Liberty.
Beaumont, Texas? Did it add it?
Did it catch? It has been having some issues. Let's also, yeah, we can try adding it again. Also on the left where it
Oh, this
says
on
right.
states. Am I on
No, we're on
states?
cities. We're good. Try,
Oh yeah, they caught right here.
oh, it did. Oh, now it added it twice. Try, go to criteria on the left and let's just add in a couple things. Just for now, just click on cheap high growth on the top left and hit close.
Did it
Did
work?
that select everything? There we
Oh
go.
yeah.
Okay, and now let's try adding the other cities.
So let's go Beaumont. Let's go Lumberton, Texas. I'm gonna add another one that is on the other side of Texas. Ranger, Texas. Yeah. Let's go Eastland.
Looks like we might not have all the data for Ranger.
Ranger and Eastland are out.
So, and if those don't have data, we can still go in the neighborhoods tab and zoom into those.
Let's go Abilene.
But let's keep going for now.
Let's go. Oh, Cisco. You might have Cisco.
Man, another miss.
Dude, there's a lot of small towns here. Don't yeah. Don't
Yeah, it's I think the small towns finding data for those is a little trickier.
Weatherford. Okay, let's go back over to this Beaumont area. Dude, these are towns of like hundreds of people.
Really? That's small?
Yeah, they're small.
Maybe that's why they're not showing up.
Yeah. Let's go to no Oklahoma.
And so you're focused on small towns. You're not looking at like Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, and even like the areas around those.
I would look at the areas around them. They're just too, dude. Especially those areas, Austin, Houston, Dallas. Like they're growing so fast. Like to
Yeah,
understand what's going on remotely is just impossible.
sure.
Like things are shooting up so fast. Like builders are building so fast, and like things are happening so quick that without being literally there, it's just too much. Where these smaller towns, I don't want small towns. I would like ideally, like I'll even do this one. Ideally, I would stick to something like this, to a Kingman, which would have, you know, 50 to 100,000 people. They're growing, but they're not a huge city,
Okay.
right? Like that's what I'm looking for. Like 50 to 200,000 people there.
It's like small, like midtown,
Yeah,
mid-sized town, not quite a city.
yeah. Phoenix.
So it'd be
Uh,
cool if we could kind of just pull up a list of cities that were that size.
yes,
That'd be pretty sweet.
Lubbock. Let me try Lubbock. We got Lubbock. Amarillo,
Nice.
Paso. Um, I'll do Springfield, Missouri. But yeah, like that's part of the reason why it's hard to know is like I don't know, like I literally don't know anything about these cities,
Right.
right? I don't know how many people there are. I'm literally looking at the map and be like, oh, there might be 50 to 200.
Well, hopefully we can answer some of those questions today.
Um, da, da.
I'm just going all over the US.
Yeah, I'm just
Cool.
throwing it out there. Oh, let's do Alabama. Let's do Huntsville.
Dude, I was looking at Huntsville years ago. It was one of the places I was considering.
Yeah.
Because back like what was that, 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, it was people were talking about it as a good market. So it's probably still good today. And yeah, look, it's number 5 on the list. So
where else should we go? Is that enough?
let's see, we have 7 with data because Beaumont is doubled.
Yeah, we doubled Beaumont up. Let's try Gainesville. I hear Gainesville's not bad.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the thing is like I'm not limited to anywhere. I can
Right.
Oh, Memphis. Let's do Memphis. I hear it's a cracktown, but apparently it's getting better.
Hey, that came out as number 1. So
Fayetteville.
are you just like panning around the map and adding the ones that look good?
Literally what I'm doing.
Because that could be like an approach, right? Just literally throwing darts on the map. Like, yeah, why not this one? Why not this one?
Yeah, I'm just looking at it, and it's like I don't want to go. I know like certain states I don't want to go in. I don't want to go in Oklahoma. I don't like the way they do titles there.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I know nothing about
Good.
Let's throw it in there.
My sister almost went there for her med school, but luckily she got somewhere else. Ooh, what just happened? All right, so I'm just looking at your list. We just lost data for some of those. So maybe we're hitting some limit. Maybe 20 is too much. Oh, and it can be because if we're pulling too much data at once. I've seen that.
We need to delete some of these. We can delete Cisco.
I wish there was a way to delete them, but there isn't.
No.
It's all right. So here, let me take some notes real quick on the ones that you added that worked. And then if we need to just re-add them, we can. So El Paso, Springfield, Lubbock, Amarillo, Huntsville, Abilene. How's it going, Kat?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Hard at work.
Hard at work, fixing stuff that's not working right.
I'm breaking Andre's shit.
All right, scroll to the bottom. Was it Fayetteville?
Fayetteville, yeah. Lumberton, Weatherford,
Gainesville,
Elizabethtown, Gainesville, and then
Memphis. But which one did Weatherford have data?
Yeah.
Weatherford. Right. Maybe. I know those ones at the bottom did. If you click on Weatherford.
Nope.
Okay, so no data there. And if you click on Gainesville. Okay, well, we need to refresh the data anyway. Go ahead and click edit on the top left. under criteria, and then just close. And that should refresh all of it. So let's see what we get. Okay, so all of that data is back. Perfect. So we don't have to re-add them in. So we have data for most of them.
Yeah.
Cool. So real quick, just since the criteria that we picked, remember that we clicked cheap high growth at the very beginning of this. So it's prioritizing, it's ranking these cities in order of which ones are growing the most and which ones have the cheapest houses. So in that order, it's kind of saying, where can you go that has cheaper land or properties where the cities are actually still growing? And so you can look at that if you click on the little chart icon next to the heart of any of these cities. We can see on the bottom, the house value is literally off the charts. So you can kind of drag your mouse on the right, on the price on the bottom right. If you click and drag on the price scale on the right, where it says 100,000, 90,000. Yeah. And then you can kind of bring that down so we can see where it's all at. But you can see that this is a growing area, right? House values are going up and income is going up as well. And so, instead of running PPC ads all over the United States and trying to find a good spot and then finding the market, you can use this to kind of find which areas are growing and then maybe start to dive into them from this without having to run your ads at all.
Perfect. That's what I need. Seems like a good one.
Yeah, look at this. This didn't even go down. What's this, Wichita? It didn't even go decline really in 08 and 09, which the only other city I've seen before that has that is Austin, Texas. It's just up the whole way. This kind of flattened out, but a lot of other cities like dipped and then came back. And so the fact that this is flat, that's awesome. There you go. That's a more typical 08, 09 trend.
Look, their population went up in 09.
Yeah, it did peak a little bit. But other than that, it's been kind of flat. So, and you can see on the left the order of how we've prioritized them. That's off the charts too. And that's just another bug I have to fix. So still in early stages here.
Yeah.
But you can see we're prioritizing house value growth and then I think rent growth first. Oh, it's definitely more zigzag. Look at that. So I'm just curious, like, what are you like thinking through as you're looking through these? Because as a land buyer, right, that's very different than like most property investors.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's crazy.
That's some good growth right there. Which one was that?
Fayetteville?
That was Fayetteville.
No. Lubbock? Lubbock.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. What would be really interesting would be properties built in the last 5 years
Yeah.
for me.
Especially for you, right? For land, because you want to know if the land is going to be like more developed, right?
Yeah. Fayetteville, Lubbock, Amarillo.
Man, look at that one. All these ones you're choosing have literally all been off the charts. Like I haven't seen cities that are growing that much. So small cities, I guess, have just been growing. Small towns have
That's
just
part of
been
why I
growing.
got in the land business was because I kind of
Yeah.
saw with COVID hitting, I was like, people are going to work virtually. If they're working virtually, they're going to get out of the city, go back to their small hometown or wherever their family moved to or whatever, and they're going to go back to a homey place,
Yeah.
50 to 200,000 people, and just enjoy life. They're not going to do the hustle bustle stress of being on the interstate, going to work in a high rise, and all this bullshit that we have to deal with. It's like, no, I want to go spend time with my family and then work to make some money.
And that's interesting that you say that because I guess we can even see that trend in the '08, '09 years on all of these cities, right? None of them really dipped. A lot of them stayed flat. But if you go to big cities, they all do that dip and then they recover. So it seems like these are kind of just stable markets for most situations, right? For most financial economic situations.
Yeah, because like when shit hits the fan, like what are you gonna do? You're gonna go make sure your family's
Right.
okay.
Yeah, that's it. I never thought of that, man.
I'm gonna go like, dude. Literally, we packed the day we were like shit started hitting the fan here. We grabbed all of our food out of our fridge. We grabbed everything we could, not everything we could, but like enough to take home. Like we literally went home for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And dude, we got like we went to hit the grocery store, like we got as many supplies as we could. We went home like to make sure like our family in these small towns with these small grocery stores, like we're gonna have
Yeah.
food. And
Yeah.
like if I'm in a quarantine, I don't want to quarantine by myself. Like I don't want to quarantine with people I don't care about, right? So it's like, you're around grandparents and it's like I want to see my
Right,
grandparents and they're
right.
gonna get sick and die. So like all of these things were going through my head and I was like, all these small towns are gonna blow up.
Yeah. Well, it looks like they have.
So yeah,
That's
that's
crazy,
why
man.
that's why I'm focusing on the 50 to 200,000 people range.
Smart.
Yeah, like Huntsville's 200,000 people. Abilene,
Oh, that's
120.
very jagged. Look at that.
Still going up though, by a lot.
Still going up. And because of COVID, a lot of data sources stopped reporting data. And so most of this at the city level, this is all pre-COVID data, end of 2019. When we get to the neighborhoods, we have data that's a little bit newer. So a lot of that might even be higher than what it's showing here because of COVID. Wow, that's quite a jump at the end there for the house values.
%20.
Yep. So if you like these, you can favorite those by clicking the little heart, whichever ones you like.
I'll just go heart all of them.
Right. All of those were good, man. Like I think you picked some good ones. Have you done some research before this or like you kind of just had those in mind?
I mean, I just know small towns. Like, I just know the small town I grew up in. I know the small town
Yeah.
my families live in. Like, family in different parts of the country, and then just logic. Like I was saying, is the bigger cities, especially with high taxes, are and shitty weather, right? Like, notice all these are southern states. Like, I'm not going to North Dakota. I'm not going to Montana. I'm not going to Minnesota, Wisconsin. Like, these all have
Yeah.
good or at least decent weather. Like Kansas and Missouri might rain more than Beaumont, but weather matters.
Yeah.
I stay out of Colorado because it's like
Definitely.
it's just fucking cold.
I know, man. I was there for a conference a few weeks ago and it was chilly.
Yeah, dude, it's just cold. So yeah, I mean, I know somewhat about weather and small towns and stuff like that. So like, that's why I avoided Dallas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio, Oklahoma altogether for different reasons.
Okay.
Like Atlanta, I'm not in like I didn't pick St. Louis, I didn't pick Kansas City. It's like small towns.
Yeah. Yeah, those are all it was interesting to see that they all had the same like growth trajectory, or shape, I guess.
And inevitably they're going to do this a little bit, right? People are
Yeah.
going to be like, oh, you're going to come back to the office for XYZ reason. And some people are going to go home. Some kids are going to graduate. They're going to go travel more. They're going to move out and fresh start after COVID, or, whatever
Yeah.
new shit happens after all this stuff passes. But it's like, it's going to do this, but then it's still going to do this again.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll come back.
So I don't see a scenario where it does this.
Right. No, especially with, just people being born, like population growth
People being born,
overall.
people retiring, moving out of the city, like
Yeah.
especially these southern places. It's like you want to live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or Beaumont, Texas.
Right.
I mean, like I don't know, but I would imagine I'd rather be warm than cold.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. I was talking with somebody on Bigger Pockets, and they were like, yeah, we're going to leave the Bay Area and we kind of want to find a place to live and to invest. And I told them, like, you got to find a place you enjoy living, and that was a big thing for me when I moved and chose Tampa. I was like, yeah, these other cities might look better on paper, but to actually enjoy life, I want to be Tampa. Mm-hmm. So that's good to keep in mind.
As long as it's growing to some degree, like you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So do you want to dig into these cities a bit more, like overall, or do you want to pick like one or two and dive into some of the areas within them?
Yeah, let's pick some. Hold on. What is this? See, this one's a little bit too big. This is almost.
That was Wichita, I think. Yeah, I need to put the name up there at the top. Or maybe that was Memphis.
That was Memphis. El Paso's rather large.
Also 700.
Gainesville.
There you go. That's in your sweet spot. The growth isn't as nice, though, for house value over, the past 10 years.
Yeah. Springfield.
There you go.
Yeah, like Springfield seems good. I should write these down as well. Fayetteville seems pretty solid. Lubbock is ridiculous. I need a notepad. Oh, let's do this. So what do we say? Springfield?
Springfield, Fayetteville, and Lubbock.
We can rock with those for now. I think. Let's see. Amarillo. Amarillo's pretty good too. Let's do. I'm gonna just keep adding. I'm like, oh, let's pick 4 and we pick 17. All right, let's do Lubbock and Beaumont. Yeah, let's do those two. All right, now what do we do? Oh,
so let's switch over to the neighborhoods tab. Well, if you want, first of all, you can like Alexa, stop. I don't know what she was doing. If you want to look into like other criteria of these cities and like see what they would look like with other priorities, you can change the criteria. Or we can just dive into the neighborhoods themselves. But so there's these presets on top, right? At first we clicked cheap, high growth, and that's how they've been ranked so far. And that's why they were all growing, is because that's how we ranked it, right? For educated newcomers, yeah, again, population growth, and also looking at, percentage of bachelor's degrees for who's um, making sure it's still an educated community, right? Because that's going to increase your tenants if you're renting, but if you're building, if you're doing land instead of renting, maybe that's not as big of a priority for you.
Lubbock and Beaumont are at the bottom for this.
So yeah, this was that was supply and demand, I believe, right? Demand being greater than supply. Was that the one you clicked?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. So if you change, so you can see that total units growth is low on the left.
Yeah.
And that's basically saying if population is growing more than the number of units available are growing, then it probably needs more units being built.
So
right.
Location we want Fayetteville, Huntsville, Gainesville. That'd be a good indicator.
And some of those are missing some data, unfortunately.
Mm.
Yeah, it looks like population growth is missing in this one, Amarillo, but it'll have the unit growth.
Let's do Fayetteville. Because this is pretty wild. A $60,000 average income with a $216,000 home value with 90,000 people. And they don't have enough houses, according to this.
The population has been growing pretty steeply if you look at that, especially compared to the number of units available.
Pretty steadily as well.
Yeah. Like that's a pretty straight line.
But we like Fayetteville seems pretty solid. Let's do this. This would be interesting. Okay. So for this, we have this. I think we're approaching this wrong. We're going with our own biases. So for growth, our order is 1, Fayetteville, Huntsville. That one doesn't have data, so I'm not going to put it in. Gainesville, Springfield, Wichita. These didn't have. And then Lubbock. So Lubbock. Cool. So that's the order of this. And then if we do this, and go back to this one. Wichita.
So you want to see like which one ranks at the top on both lists?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can just, let's complete that list, but you can also just add in all of the criteria that you want and rank them in whatever order. And it'll take everything into consideration. It'll be interesting to see how that lines up with the lists we're writing, though.
Beaumont is not the move. And why do we have more?
Yeah, it's down at the bottom.
All right. So Fayetteville is number 1. Huntsville, number 2. Gainesville. Dude, Gainesville seems like a solid one.
Yep.
Springfield, also solid. Lubbock. 5. Abilene. 6.
Wichita didn't even make your top list.
7. El Paso. 8. Beaumont. 9. Yeah, fuck. Beaumont needs to get the hell out of here.
So this was okay. The top one was the cheap high growth, and then what was the second list? This is based on the demand and supply.
Yeah, I think so.
So if we just add all of those criteria all at once,
Yeah.
right, it's going to basically do this work for us, right? We don't need to cross compare the two lists because we can just compare everything all at once. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Let's do it. Now that we have this list, where'd Amarillo? Amarillo is number 3. And then Beaumont sucks.
Last place twice.
Okay, so these two.
So if you click on cheap high growth and then also add total units growth at the bottom right, and then close, and then you can order those on the left. So let's see, maximize your screen, just because some of these are cut off. So units growth right now is set to high. So if you set that to low, if you click on high and change it to low for total units, number 6, right, then that's going to match the settings for the supply and demand setting. And so now the supply and demand, the population and total units are at the bottom of this list, and we're prioritizing the ones at the top. So you can kind of drag these up and down depending on what you want the priority to be for how to rank the list, the cities.
What is growth and population growth?
Yeah, so this must be a bug that I have. So that one must be income growth, the one that just says growth.
Income growth.
That'll be income growth. And then population growth is people.
Okay, so I care about median house value is low. I care about how many people are moving there the most. And then I care about how many units are being built. House value growth, median house value, median rent growth, and then income growth. Yeah, this seems like a good. So this is saying we want this to be high, we want this to be low.
Correct. Yeah.
We want this to be median house value. Oh, I want it to be high.
Sure.
House, because the more value the property, the more value the land. House value growth. That's good. Median rent growth. Yeah, we want that to go up. And then income growth. We want that to go up. Okay, how do I refresh this?
It should have already done it, but you can just hit edit and close for now just to kind of force it.
All right, let's look at this compared to our list.
I think Gainesville was the top one, right? In our list, it was the top of both of them. So that makes sense. Where's Huntsville?
Wichita is now number 1.
Well, Wichita was also missing some data.
Gainesville.
Gainesville's number 2.
Looking pretty damn solid to me.
Right? Huntsville's number 3.
So it's top on this list, right? And this list.
Yeah.
Not.
It was towards the bottom. That was so the other factors must be so strong that they're pulling it higher.
Fayetteville 4. Amarillo 5. Springfield 6. Lumberton?
That's been missing data the whole time, so we didn't get it in there.
Eastland, Cisco, Weatherford, Lufkin, Kingman, Elizabethtown. Here we go. Love it. We got more somehow.
Yeah, because we didn't include the those blank cities in the list.
All right. Well, Lubbock is near the bottom. Lubbock, we just put 15. Abilene.
Yeah, that would probably be
And Beaumont.
at least below the other ones, but and then Beaumont is still at the bottom. So that's consistent.
Paso. And Beaumont sucks. All right, I think we take Beaumont off of our list.
Yep.
So here's how I would prioritize this. I would go interpretation. 1. Gainesville.
Gainesville. Yeah.
How do I strike this out? Boom. And then I would go Fayetteville probably. I feel like Fayetteville and Springfield are like a tied second, but I'm gonna favor Fayetteville just because it has the number 1.
Yep.
Fayetteville. Springfield.
And then Lubbock was actually pretty good. On this one, it's 15. But if you subtract the cities that were missing data, it's probably like 6 or 7.
Let's see what it takes.
I think it's 7.
We're trying to figure out Lubbock right now. So 15, let's call it 14, 13, 12, 11, 10 at Cisco.
Yeah, it should be number 7.
7. So that puts us at 7.
Yeah.
And that was for Lubbock.
Yep. I guess Amarillo was better with 3 and 5, but it didn't make your top list, so that's strange.
Wichita's missing data, but Wichita's a pretty strong. Like if we go Springfield.
And the missing data, the most common one is probably the rent, because I know that I have that one missing in several places. So if that's not as important.
I think we're doing this wrong. I think we need to do this. There we go. All right. So then, dude, I feel like Wichita. Like the only thing down on Wichita was that first one, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's look at this mathematically. 1 + 1 + 6 is 8 divided by 3. 8 divided by 3. Let's just give them a face value, right? 2.67. I don't know if this is gonna work or not.
I mean, let's look at it this way too. It came out as literally number 1 on the list in Lazyboots with everything in your list.
Yeah. So I think
that's pretty strong.
I think I'm actually
strong
here.
Sign right there.
This is too much numbers. Actually, I can't deal. All right, so Memphis.
That's why Lazyboots does it all for you, man. So you don't have to do all the numbers.
Well, it's working on doing it all for us.
Right, it's in progress.
Memphis. If Memphis didn't have all this shit, we would take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8.
It would be number 9. Yeah.
Okay, so that puts Memphis to number 9. So we'd have 9 + 9 is 18.
9 + 7.
So that puts us 6. Right? 2 +
9,
7.
9 plus. Oh, 2 plus. Okay, you're adding the 2 in there. Got it.
Yeah. Because this was a first list.
Okay. Cool.
El Paso. So would we subtract 8?
That one was 17 and it became 9. So yeah, 8.
8.
So El Paso becomes 10.
10. So 11, so 21 divided by 3 is 7.
7.
6 plus 3 is 9 divided by 3 is 3.
So we've got
9 plus 6 is 15 divided
15, 5. It's 11 divided by 3 is
by like 5 point something.
3.7.
7.
Did I literally just do that in my head?
Yeah, that was good. That was impressive. plus
19, so like 18.3 or 6.3.
3. Amarillo 11, so 6.
So let's see, 5.3.
Huntsville 11 plus 3 is 14 divided by 3.
It's gonna be like 4.7.
And then so this minus 8 would be
9.
10 plus 15 is 25.
I thought Memphis was number 9 though. We must have marked that one down wrong.
Abilene must all right, here 16.
Yeah, okay. So it's 8.
So 14, so 24 divided by 3 is 8. Dude, I think that just gave us our list. So we've got Wichita.
But just saying, those 4 that you just deleted were the same top 4 that Lazyboots is showing right now. I think a couple of them are in a different order.
These 4?
Wichita, Gainesville, Huntsville, Fayetteville.
Gainesville.
Yeah. Oh, Springfield snuck in there. Okay.
Yep.
So Huntsville didn't make your list. But Huntsville should be number 4.
And these were these were the other 2 lists we ran, right?
So but look at your middle list. Huntsville should be above Springfield. It's 4.7 versus number 5.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this list, is because all these numbers.
Yeah, I'm just super curious if now this new list is going to match up with what Lazyboots shows.
Because so we've got Fayetteville here. Fayetteville was number 1. Yeah, so okay, I'm just gonna do this. So Wichita,
Gainesville, and then Fayetteville.
So it seems like the secret to this is you have to know you have to determine before using Lazyboots what is important to your investment goals.
Yes.
Because if you're looking for really high-end luxury apartments that are like
it's completely different.
You're not using this criteria.
Right. Or you just put in you what?
So you want to avoid these areas.
Right, but also you selected the cities at the beginning, right? So you could use the same criteria theoretically with just other cities that are more prone for luxury, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 4.7.
So Springfield should be next. And then Amarillo. Amarillo.
Memphis, Lubbock.
Memphis, Lubbock. El Paso.
El Paso's next.
Yeah. And then Abilene. Abilene, yeah. Abilene. Cool.
This is our winners.
So how does that match up? Wichita, Gainesville, Fayetteville, and Huntsville. So far, so good.
Top four.
Amarillo, and Springfield.
Top six are just in a very, barely different order.
Fairly different. Yep. And then we have all of those mess up. And then Amarillo kind of snuck up, which is Amarillo's not even on this list. So that's weird on Lazyboots.
Number 5.
Oh, it's there. It's number 5. Oh, sorry. Wait, did we put?
You mean Abilene?
Oh, no, was I looking at Memphis? Maybe I was looking at Memphis.
But yeah, so we had, yeah.
Right, because the top 6 we looked at, and then so number 7 is Memphis, and then Lubbock, and then El Paso.
Wichita, Kansas. We go look at some land deals there.
So why don't we jump into the neighborhoods tab and start looking at like where the growth is happening in Wichita.
Let's see.
Oh, Land Watch. Nice.
We could go to Wichita County. Wichita, Kansas. 50 grand for an acre? Holy balls. That's good though. Here's why that's good. Let me show you something. Stop. Holy. Let's go to right here. 1 acre, 3,500. Okay. Kansas
Yeah.
is 50,000 an acre.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Right?
Kansas is 1,000 an acre, and Wichita was what, 50 grand?
Well, Wichita, Kansas was 50 grand. This is 3,500.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what that means. That means that this worked. Here's why. How the am I supposed to make money on a $3,500 lot?
Right. It'd have to go up a lot more in value, and they'd have to start building close to it. Right.
Yeah. Well, what that means is I can pick deals up and sell them at market value and make money. Right? So if I offer, let's just run the scenario of an investor. Mm-hmm. I want to buy at 50 cents on the dollar or whatever, arbitrary numbers, right? But I'm looking for a deal, 50 cents on the dollar. Bro, I just picked up a lot in Kingman, 50 cents. Like, you're not even, Andre, usually I pick deals up at 50 cents on the dollar. Yeah. I got this for 10 cents on the dollar. Okay? Who gives a fuck? I spend $350 on a lot. I spend $2 grand in closing costs. That's $2,500. Then I pay a real estate agent $350, and I sell it for $3,500, make $100 or whatever. Yeah. In Kansas, Wichita, Kansas, I spend 50 cents on the dollar, or 50 cents on the dollar. I spend 25 grand, $2 grand in closing costs.
Your return's a lot more.
5 grand. So let's say at the end of the day, all my expenses are $32,000. Now I just pulled $18,000 in profit
instead of $100.
Right. That means this worked.
Nice.
Well, oh, sorry, I got distracted explaining real estate.
No worries.
Neighborhoods.
So yeah, now if we jump into Wichita.
Oh.
And we can just zoom in and kind of just pick either an area or like the center of the city.
Land, I don't want the center of the city because.
Right. No, I think so. Here's what I'm thinking. Right. If you pick the center of the city and then we map the entire city so we can see how everything's kind of growing, you can see on the outskirts where is going to be. Where around the circumference of Wichita makes more sense to look. I guess, right? So if you click on, if you add the criteria that we had before, the cheap high growth, and that has population in there, which is good. And you probably want units, right? That was the other one we added in, the units growth.
All right, average house value, median age. What's the difference between median and average house value? Median is the middle,
So
average is all of them added together divided by units.
yes, I'll probably get rid of one of them just because it's confusing to have them both. But what's interesting is if you look at the difference between those two, it can tell you if the data is skewed like higher or lower based on the difference of average and median. But that's such a detail. Like I'll add something separate for that eventually.
Yeah, do like an advanced filtering.
Right.
Percent owner occupied, percent unemployed, percent vacant. Yeah, I guess this. Yeah, this is good. Close.
So then hit radius or zoom in a little bit more. We're a little off center.
Okay, hold on.
But yeah, also, okay, sorry. Yeah, you
Median
want to get your criteria right.
value. What did we want first? We want total. We want population growth first. Total units growth. We wanted this low though, because we want high people,
Low
low units.
units.
So there's a
Right.
demand.
For supply and demand. Yeah.
Yeah. Median house value. I'm fine with that. I don't. We want that high, I guess. Um, house value growth. I don't remember what order we had these in.
It was close to this.
House income growth. Do I care about house income growth more than median house value? No. This seems pretty good, right? So we have a high growth
Yep.
population with not enough building happening. The house value is going up, or the house.
Yeah, the prices of the houses is house value. It's going up. And the median house value is high.
Cool. And then income and rent are going up. Perfect. Yes, that's what we want. Let's play this game.
Cool. So zoom in a little bit more to the center of the city. And then in the neighborhoods, we just tell it how far we want to look. So go ahead and click radius and just give it 15. Because since you're looking at land, you want to look farther out from the center, right? So the bluer areas, right? So you're super muffled. What was that?
Oh, I said, Andre, what does this mean?
So yeah, the blue areas are the top of the list and the whiter areas are the bottom of the list. Right. So for you, for land, like I don't know obviously where the land is available, but you don't want to be close to the center of the city, which is fine. So it looks like the outskirts on the bottom left is a no-go for you.
Yeah, all this.
Right? Because that's just white. And so the bluer areas seem to be the east side of the city and a little bit out there on the west, east, north, and a little bit on the west side in Sedgwick County. And then the south side too, look, going down to like Derby, it looks like as well.
Yeah, that right there seems like a good one. Maybe. Probably.
Now that neighborhood number 5 is missing a data point, and so we'd have to look at exactly which one's missing to see if it was a prioritized one or not.
Yeah, this one's probably too populated. Maybe not. I don't know. Is there a satellite view on this?
No, but I can look into that. So interesting. So you also want to measure population, just the raw population number, like number of people.
I don't know. Because like this, like look, I see these lots.
Yeah.
Lots. but like these look like they haven't been built. Why?
Gotcha.
Like, let's go look at Andover, Kansas. Andover, Kansas. Okay, so this is the Kansas Turnpike to the north of West 13th Street. Kansas Turnpike. Come on, buddy boy.
So you're looking for how developed it is?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Northwest 13th Street. So be up here more. The 60th, 70th. I'm gonna go down more. 80th. Central, right here. Right? This road, 13th. So 143rd Street East.
And that's North Andover Road on the right by an elementary school.
North Andover Road.
So you're just over a block. There you go.
So we're right here. Perfect. As suspected, all these houses. Okay, so these are actually built out. North Columbine Street. Did we go far enough for that? Yeah, and regardless, they're all built out.
Yeah. For the most part, there's definitely some open spaces, but
yeah. So what would be really interesting would be like this plot of land, right? I pick this piece of property up for whatever, sell it to a real estate developer, or these lots.
there you go.
These are called infill lots. I would bet the people that own these lots either live in these houses right here, or they live, it's like they were going to build a house at some point, or they're older, or out of state, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Pick lots up for relatively cheap and then go sell them for, we're underwriting land deals right now. What's it called? Andover. This is how you know this isn't fake. Like, I don't even know what we're looking at. Andover, Kansas.
The live demos are always fun, aren't they?
Yeah, I like this. Let's see what Zillow has to say for us.
That's right where we were just looking.
Look at that.
Those are like probably exact plots.
Would you look at that?
And this is what going to what you were saying earlier, right? You get that for cents on the dollar, your return is going to be a lot better than if you're looking at $5,000 lots.
Yeah. But see this, like, see how long these have been on market?
Oh yeah, look at that. Nice.
Call them up and offer them $5,000.
So I'll delay in posting this video for another couple of weeks so that you have time to get in.
How much fun do you want to have right now?
Ooh, what are you thinking?
I want to call this real estate agent right now.
I had a feeling. Go for it. It'll be fun. Live cold calling. It's like Grant Cardone style.
We gotta find their phone number first. Office. I want a cell phone number. Fuck it. Let's just call this phone number.
Looks like there's another number on the right too.
Thank you for calling Recycles. This is Chris.
Hey Chris, I saw your guys' lot for sale on North Shadow Rock Drive in Andover.
Okay. Let me connect you to Nick because he's the one that's the agent on the Shadow Rock lot. Hold on just 1 second, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You bet. Hold on.
They answered.
Sweet.
Let's see if Nick answers.
So close.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Bummer.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that is a motivated seller, right? Their house has been on the market for 441 days.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, sell this fucking house. The stock market's taking a shit. Like, ugh. My agent sucks. Guaranteed that's what they're thinking.
They want that sale. And look, there's plots for twice the price just across the way.
Yeah. You have to be kind of, Zillow's a little iffy on where those are actually located.
Sure. And I mean, land changes, it can change so quickly. Like here in Tampa, you cross the street and it can be, a whole different neighborhood, Yeah. So you can't just you got to take it with a grain of salt,
But yeah, dude, this is sweet.
Cool, man. Well, hopefully that kind of that'll keep you busy for a while, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm going to
looking at. And so if you want, in Lazyboots, you can favorite those neighborhoods as well. If you found the ones that you liked, you can favorite those and come back to them later.
Let's look at this. This is something else I always look at. Damn, look at all these lots that just sold. You have to kind of pick your
Doesn't show you the price though.
Yeah, you have to pick your
not even a Zestimate.
No, it's all right here. So they were listed at 49 pending sale, so it probably sold for like 48, 49,000.
And that was a month ago.
Whoever watches this is going to get a real live demo on how to find land deals.
This is even for me exciting, just learning how to do the land game.
This is it. Damn, no houses for sale in this one. See what sold.
Yeah, I mean, inventory is pretty low everywhere you go.
Holy shit. Lots of sales. What does a 5'4", 3,000 square foot house go for? This is a nice house.
It's a big house. 5'4".
Pending 475. So price sold for 475. That makes these lots worth, at least that lot worth. Oh yeah, it's worth 40 grand all day.
There you go.
There we go. Wichita, Kansas.
The outskirts of it was Andover, right?
No, just
The outskirts of Wichita. Very cool.
But yeah, the real play in land deals is figuring out who bought all of this, which whoever bought all of this and built it all knows what the fuck they're doing, first of all.
Right. Yeah, because you'll have like a developer or a couple developers per town, right? Just kind of buy the plots.
But whoever built this really knows what they're doing. So I'm sure they're already talking to these people right here, but
yeah,
if you can get this under contract, I mean that's a good play for them.
For sure. And so could you do that? Like if you might have to look a little farther out, but you could probably get bigger and bigger plots of land.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is just the first area we looked at. I was just looking for infill lots like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we go out, they'll get bigger. Like this is kind of the edge of the city. There's a little subdivision here.
Yep.
That apparently has sold a lot of properties. But yeah, I mean, there's an exit right here, which is, dude, you pick this property, one of these properties up right here, right after this exit.
Yeah, definitely some potential, right, to build anything.
Highway access, probably some of it could go commercial to some degree, so all these people could go grocery shopping or like whatever this is. Oh, this is a school.
Yeah.
So, like I don't know if there's a store around here or gas station or yeah. It's even getting built out here. And there's not much for sale.
Yeah, that's kind of the state of the market right now. Not a lot of inventory. Things are just getting sold super quick.
Flip house.
So but cool, man. So we started with nothing, right? You picked like 20 cities across the US.
I did.
We ranked them all, picked our top one, zoomed in, analyzed the neighborhoods within that city, picked one that was kind of on the outskirts but looked good.
Called the agent and he didn't.
If only you got the deal too. Wouldn't that have been nice?
Try to call the owner of the property. That'd be pretty slick.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I don't know if I can show all my weapons though.
Yeah, don't give everything away on the call. But that's cool, man. I mean, we did a lot. We found a whole new area that you can find some good deals in. So pretty sweet, man. It's exciting.
Parking time. And I mean, running pay-per-click ads in those specific areas or Facebook ads or whatever that looks like, I'm sure would yield some benefit.
Right. So then you can kind of just dive. It's almost the reverse of what you were doing before, right? Before you were running PPC ads and then would get a hit and then would dive into the neighborhood, right? So one click on one ad would make you kind of dive deeper, or not a click, but one deal in one area would make you dive deeper, right? So now you've done the work up front, you can run your ads and then probably get a better response rate, a better click rate.
How much do you think I spent on pay-per-click ads to find deals?
Oh man, I don't know. Thousands.
Like 2 grand, 8 grand,
uh
12 grand,
let's go with 7.
7. I would spend 3,500 a month and get one deal. My average cost per deal is about $1,400.
Damn, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah, let's bring that number down, dude.
that's actually a really good number.
Really?
Yeah. So in Phoenix, wholesale, like people that are doing deals here, their cost per deal usually averages between 3,500 on the low end and on the higher end, like 7 to 10,000 to get a deal.
That's wild. You better make sure you have a good profit margin.
Yep. So it's like, yeah, I mean, when you put that into apply to this, it's like I spend $1,400 to acquire a deal, and I don't look into a new market until that deal sells 3 months later. So it's like it taking time and money. Like it's $1,400 plus 3 months or 6 months of waiting till a deal sells, and then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is a cool area.
Yeah. Yeah. So you already invested plenty of money, plenty of time. If we can bring all of those numbers down, man, I mean, that's the goal. I hate wasted time. I hate wasted money.
Yeah, this would,
So
as long as I think as long as you have some sort of workbook, like don't just throw people into this software without them, like like almost indoctrinate them. And part of that is, hey, I want to welcome you to Lazyboots, but for 1 second, we're just going to focus on you and what you're looking for, and put Lazyboots aside.
mhm.
These are things that investors think about and the priority. So I want you to think about, what is your priority?
What? Yeah. What
Here are
matters
some
to
common
them?
ones, like you have mine now, right? So if you're a land investor, these are typically why, or these are typically what land investor looks for, and this is why, right? This
Yeah.
is what a flip investor looks for, and this is why. This is what a whoever looks for, and this is why. Now, I want you to go through this worksheet and determine your criteria, and then they can just go in and plug and play it.
Right. Yeah, because that needs to be easier. I agree. That's why I put those presets that we use to just click one and fills a few of them. But having that kind of step by step work, like walk through, would definitely be useful.
Yeah, kind of, or maybe they come in and like you show them the preset ones, they go play around and get immediate results. Like, holy shit, this is crazy. And then it's like, uh, use Lazyboots for your business, or whatever topic.
Mhm. Yeah, for your strategy, because
Yeah,
everyone's
and
different.
then they create their own strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Because
the
I didn't
idea.
know mine, right? Like we literally made it up on the spot, and I didn't.
Right, right, right. But if you want to have a data driven approach, like you kind of have to know these things,
Yeah, you have to know them. Yeah.
And so it's like an introduction to how to be data driven a lot easier, right? I'll handle the data. You just have to know what you need.
You gotta know. Yeah. And the problem, your number one problem is going to be people not knowing what they want.
People not knowing what they need, yeah, what they want.
If I
That's
couldn't think through it logically of like, okay, we want increasing populations with not increasing growth. So then there's like,
right. That's the supply and demand.
right. But
Yeah.
like fix and flip guy, he might just be like, oh, I just want some shit local to my area. Or like, you might not even want to target fix and flip people because they have to be so hands on that to go to other markets is so fucking hard. You're probably
Yeah.
going to focus on wholesalers and maybe some rental people that want to do virtual rentals.
Yeah. But even for wholesalers and flippers, like it could help them learn areas within their own city that they've never been to or didn't consider.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
some virtual wholesalers would. This is
Yeah.
ideal.
virtual wholesalers. Cool.
Sure.
Well, thanks, man, for like diving through all of that and going on the ride, the live demo. And hey, maybe you'll get some land deals out of it.
Dude, that'd be
That's
fun. I was
cool.
kind of hoping he would call me back. Maybe he did. No, he didn't.